Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk, presented by Uneducated Network. Both channels on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to both channels. We are more than just a YouTube channel. We are a way of life. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, the word today I'm going to throw around is karma. The word of the day is karma. That's right, K-A-R-M-A, karma. Let's get into it. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors are at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we all know both teams came from grueling Game 7s, and both teams obviously won. They're facing up. LeBron James has been the hottest player we've seen in years, in decades, to be honest. He is just flaming hot. Let's get into it. The Golden State Warriors defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers 124-114 in a crazy game that words can't even describe how crazy this game was from basically start to finish. We got us a great game, and I was really hoping for that. Over the past, it seems like 10 years, we haven't had that many close, tight games through and throughout a playoff game. There's been few in between, but usually if it's a 7-game series, 5 or 6 are going to be blowouts, and you got that 1 or 2 good games. So, 124-114 in overtime. Yes, it went to overtime. That tells you how good this game was from start to finish. Let's get into it. A lot of things happened, but let's start off with LeBron James. 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. One of the greatest games I've ever witnessed with my own eyes. I did not watch the 93 Jordan when he put up 55 against the Suns because I didn't start watching until 96. But what a great performance, and a hell of a performance. He did everything in his power to win the game, but the most important thing is the reason why they did not win. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But LeBron James, 51 points in the NBA Finals. That is the 6th most points in NBA Finals history in any game. That's a lot of points, 51 points. He was 19 for 32, killing the game. But he was 0 for 4 in overtime. Get to that in just a minute. The word karma is being thrown out right here. Here's the karma. You know how it is when old guys, veterans, when they're old, they're in their double-digit years in the NBA, 11, 12, 13 years, and they haven't won a ring, they get together. We've seen this numerous times. Karl Malone and Gary Payton go to Los Angeles in 2004 to try and win a championship. They fall short against the Pistons. We saw it, 2000, I believe that was 2008 with KG and Ray Allen joined forces with Paul Pierce, the Big Three in Boston. Those guys that never won a championship, they got up there. But before that, we saw Charles Barkley meeting with Clyde Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon. Those guys were old, trying to get them a championship. Boston does this. They're outside of their primes, but the difference why they won and the other guys did not win, they all complemented each other. All of them. They all complemented each other. You're talking to KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. Then, of course, you had a Rajon Rondo who you did not know was going to be that good. So, LeBron gets scared. He said, you know what? I cannot beat the Celtics with the team I have. So he jump ships to the Miami Heat, where he joins 2 other superstars. He joins Dwayne Wade's team and Chris Bosh, who was a beast in Toronto, and then he turned into the black Kevin Love. Let's just be honest about that. But he joined forces with 2 stars to make this Big Three who are in their primes, right? And he is the greatest player on the planet when he did that. So he sets the bar now. Here's where karma takes place. People get so offended that Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. 1, I hated the LeBron James move. 2, I hated the Kevin Durant move. But can I blame Kevin Durant? If you're a fan and you're like, can you blame Kevin Durant for going to the Golden State Warriors? Yes, they were a 7-3-9 team, but LeBron James went on to join 2 superstars in their primes. Golden State Warriors, all of them were molded. All of them came from the same organization. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. They all came from the same cloth. There are numerous teams that passed up on these guys, and they work good as a unit. Then they added a superstar. They added 1, Kevin Durant. Hey, Miami at that time added 2. So they say, oh, it's a 7-3-9 season, but Chris Bosh did not play on that Miami Heat team the year prior. See what I'm saying? So you can't say, well, Miami had this because there was no really Miami team. They all came together one time with LeBron James, who was the greatest player on this planet at that time and still today. So karma is the word for the day. Here's go. You cannot get mad that Golden State got Kevin Durant because the best player in the world did that already. So Kevin Durant is doing the same thing. You can't. I'm mad about it, but I understand it. You have to understand. This is the way the NBA is going, and I don't like it. You don't like it. Everyone's giving so much heat on Kevin Durant for going to Golden State, but they're not giving enough heat about why he went there. Because LeBron James started that. You only follow what's success. They went to 4 straight finals in Miami because of what LeBron James did. Won 2 championships out of that. Kevin Durant did the same thing, and so far he hasn't lost at all. So that's one part of the karma. Here we go into the game. It is a great game the whole entire time, and we are enjoying it. Got our popcorn ready. There were a few tic-tac calls that were not called, but they're on both sides. The only reason why things get magnified to a high level when it comes down to referees not getting calls right is because who it went to. LeBron James got calls that did not get calls, and people express that more. Kevin Durant got calls for little things, but I also seen throughout the whole entire game guys with lesser names getting fouled and or not getting fouled, and it should have been called, or getting fouled and it should have not been called. It happens throughout the whole entire game. Things magnify when it's the best 2 players on the planet, Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Well, we can debate about Kevin Durant, but for sure LeBron James. So those guys, when they get calls or not get calls, things magnify. So I can't get mad at the referees. We'll talk about that in just a moment as well. Here we go. The ball game is, it's crazy. It's tight. LeBron goes in, 106-104, drives in the lane. I think, he gets a layup. And he's been doing this the whole entire time. At this point in the juncture, he is 19 for 28. Cannot be stopped. 49 points already. LeBron James had mismatches all freaking day. LBJ, 51 points. Kevin Love, 21 points, 14 rebounds. He's been doing his thing. 13 rebounds, doing his thing. He had help. LeBron scored 51 points, and he also had help from other guys. So if Kevin Love gets you 21 points and 13 rebounds, that's saying something. That's a nice sidekick number. That's a nice number 2 number. And other guys were playing well as well. So there's really no excuse for this game. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's talk about the other side, the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green comes with almost triple over, 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 13, 12, and like 9 assists. So that's a typical Draymond Green stat line. You're going to get that every single game pretty much. Steph Curry, 29 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Klay Thompson, 24 points after taking a scary hit from J.R. Smith in the first quarter, I believe. Had a scary leg injury, but came back in the second quarter and put up 24 points. KD, let's talk about him. He probably had the worst 26-point performance you'll ever see. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He had probably the worst 26 points you'll ever see. He went 8 for 22. 4 for 11 in both halves, and did not attempt a shot in overtime. Steph Curry did not attempt a shot in overtime, but that's neither here or there. Let's talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry was obviously the best player on this Golden State Warriors team, and I did say if they win, Golden State wins, Steph Curry will be named the MVP because I feel like it is his year to get the MVP trophy. It is his year. But let's go back to the karma now. Here's where things get crazy. J.R. Smith. We're going to talk about him right now. LeBron James, Steph Curry gets fouled and won. Kevin Love fouls him. They go 107 to 106. Now, here it is. We have 23 seconds left to go. And if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know that you're the road team. You want to eat up as much clock as they've been doing the whole entire game and then get their last final shot for maybe the game winner. The ball is in LeBron James' hands. He crosses half court. As soon as he crosses half court, he's being guarded by Steph Curry. Draymond Green comes on a hard trap, which is a smart thing. Get it out of LeBron's hand. LeBron passes to J.R. Smith, I believe. But then, as things shift, the Warriors are, playing crazy defense, as in they're zigzagging and running around, and they're not set. So LeBron gets the ball right back. And if I had a picture, I would say pause. Pause. When he catches the ball with about 8.7 seconds to go, it is him versus Steph Curry 1-on-1. What does he do? He stands there for an extra 3 or 4 seconds and lets his defense get comfortable. He throws a bullet pass to George Hill, but for an easy layup if it's done right. But Klay Thompson fouls him. We'll talk about all this is brewing up. So with the foul coming in, George Hill's at the free throw line. George Hill's making $20 million, to be honest. No, he's making. So George Hill's at the free throw line, a chance to tie the game and a chance to go up by 1 point. The first shot, he barely makes it. It hits the back of the rim. It barely goes in. Tied at 107. But you can see in George Hill's eyes, it's like a deer in headlights. He was not ready for this moment. And you can tell by number 2, it was so short. So short. J.R. Smith gets the offensive rebound over Kevin Durant, who was not boxing out. Kevin Durant had a horrible game in my book. It was a horrible, horrible game. He looked lackluster on offense, lackluster on defense. There was no hustle. He did not want the ball at times. Steph Curry was the guy who made things happen for that team. But let's talk about the play. The missed free throw, J.R. Smith gets the rebound. J.R. Smith starts sprinting towards half court. What are you doing, J.R.? LeBron is like, I don't know what LeBron said at that moment with his hands in the air. He was like, pass the ball. He already wasted 3.5 seconds out of the 4.7, I believe. And he passed it to George Hill. George Hill threw a wild shot up, and it was obviously going to be a miss. Overtime. Now, let's talk about karma. J.R. Smith is making just about $14 million per year. The Warriors blow the Cavaliers out in overtime. At the end, you get a scuffle with Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson doesn't like the fact that Sean Livingston is shooting the ball, even though Sean Livingston doesn't want a shot clock violation. I mean, who wants a turnover, on their stat book, an unnecessary one? I don't. If it's not the end of the game, it's not going to just run out before the 24-second violation. That's fine. If you shoot it then yeah, I got a problem. But he's just avoiding the shot clock violation. Let's keep it going. Right? Tristan Thompson takes exception to that, and he throws an elbow. Even though it did not connect, you could tell his intent was to kind of hit him in the center message. That's why he got thrown out by Tony Brothers, which I believe was a good call. You don't want that brewing. That was very unnecessary for that cheap shot. It's not within the game to do that kind of thing. It wasn't within the game. It was just Sean Livingston throwing up a little, 16-footer, just try to hit the rim and get out of here. Let time keep rolling. So you got Klay Thompson, and you have J.R. Smith, who made boneheaded mistakes. Now, J.R. Smith was the most important bonehead. That when I say lack of knowledge of the NBA game, that you're taught that from day one. And day one, when you go to an environment that has a shot clock, you start to get that talk about clock management, about awareness, about at the free throw line, if you're down, if you're up, communication, or just knowing it. If you're an NBA player, you've been through all that in your whole entire life. There should be and there is no excuse. After it was done with, they went to overtime. You can see J.R. Smith, he said something in the lines of, I thought we were ahead, or I thought we were up, or I thought we were winning, something like that. And LeBron was like, are you kidding me? What is going on? Right? All that happened, and then it took all their hearts away. But it shouldn't have taken the heart of one person. We'll get to that in just a minute. Now, they get blown out in overtime. I believe 17-7 in overtime. Steph Curry doesn't need to score. Kevin Durant doesn't need to score. Clay did all the scoring. Draymond Green did some scoring. Sean Livingston did some scoring. So that's all they really needed in overtime because the Cavaliers looked deflated. LeBron looked like he didn't want any piece of J.R. Smith. They didn't want any piece of each other. They just were not ready for overtime. And it is no excuse. If you tell LeBron James or the Cavaliers, hey, before the game starts, you guys are going to be going to overtime 107. They're like, yeah, we on the road. We're going to overtime. Let's get it. We got to get this. We got to get it. You would think they'll be jubilated. I don't care what circumstances happen. Oh, but before all that, we had a charge called, blocking call. There was charge. Kevin Durant is going in. I believe they're down 2. He goes up for a layup. LeBron James seems to have a charge, but one referee says block, one ref says charge. The new rules came in and say, you know what? At the end of the 2-minute warning, or not 2-minute warning, but 2 minutes or later in the game, in the fourth quarter or overtime, we can review plays like that. Jeff Green and LeBron James. LeBron was out of the restricted area, but Jeff Green was in that same vicinity in the restricted area. That's why they went into the call to see what's going on. They overturned it, said LeBron James blocked. Here's one thing. The referees got that right. I don't care what no one says. They're just mad because it's LeBron James who's taking that charge. If it was George Hill or Kyle Korver taking that charge and it got reversed to a block, no one in their minds would freak out. But since it's LeBron James, the superstar, who gets that call reversed, everyone's freaking out like, those calls shouldn't go to the star player. BS, it was a blocking call, and I'm glad they got it right. That is why it is there. That's why the system is there. It's there to reverse calls like that. So get over it. It was a block. Yes, am I mad that I had to go through all that? Yes, I don't like that, but it is there. It is what it is. The same thing. Reggie Miller, I think somewhere in 97 or 98, 2000, whatever, he hit a game-winning three-pointer to win the game. Found out his foot was on the freaking line the whole time, but you couldn't reverse it because there was no camera angles. There was no, there was no replay system for that. No, but now they got it right. So I'm sorry, they got it right. It is what it is. It was a blocking call. Get over it, LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers fans. Get over it. Now, they go in overtime and get blown out. And there's all she wrote. But here is the blame game where the karma comes in. J.R. Smith is making $14 million this year. Tristan Thompson is making close to $16 million this year. This year. That is $30 million, in my opinion, of wasted money. But you want to know how they got their money? LeBron James, with his stranglehold on the Cleveland Cavaliers front office or front management, he said, get my guys paid. That was one of his demands, pretty much. Even though they, it wasn't a demand, but it was kind of a threat. If you don't, I'm going to leave. And Cleveland's going to jump at anything that LeBron says. He said, you know what? Get my man J.R. Smith paid. Get my man Tristan Thompson paid. They both got paid money that they did not earn. Tristan Thompson did not earn $16 million per year, and it's only going up for the next couple of years. J.R. Smith did not earn his $13.7 million he's getting this year, and it's only going up the next couple of years. They didn't earn those. They were given that because LeBron James wanted that. So you could have turned that $30 million into something else, something maybe a star player or something on his side, because all this help. Guess what? LeBron James helped getting money. He helped them. He helped the help getting money. So that's his fault. It is all karma. You have LeBron James doing the Miami thing. Now you have LeBron James getting his guys paid who don't deserve money. And all that is coming back to haunt LeBron James. You can score 51 points in a game. 51 points in an NBA Finals game. And you still lose. He is the first person in NBA history to score 50-plus in an NBA Finals game and lose. Now, let's get to who's to blame for the loss before we get into all the other stuff. We have LeBron James, the refs. We have George Hill missing a free throw. We have J.R. Smith doing his blunder. We all know what's going on. Let's start off the top four. We'll go 4 through 1. The least important to the most important. Who's to blame? The number 4, the referees. It's not the referees' fault that they got their jobs right. Both sides had missed calls, which is understandable. Both sides had missed calls. It happens in an NBA game. But the charge turned to a block. It is not their fault. That is the right absolute call. I loved it. Number 3, George Hill. You cannot blame George Hill for missing the free throw line. Everyone's saying, oh, but he's an 80% shooter. Like, that's a good thing. 80% means you make 8 out of 10, you miss 2 out of 10. That is not automatic. This isn't Steve Nash at 92%, 93%. This isn't Kyle Korver at that same rate. No, this is George Hill, 80%. LeBron passes to a guy that was open, but he shook 80%. No. I don't want to hear that. George Hill wasn't ready for that moment. Number 2, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith was the worst blunder you want to say in basically NBA history, in my opinion. He could have passed it to LeBron or Kyle. They were all open for 3 if he would have knew what was going on. J.R. Smith, your NBA player, there was no excuse what he did. But it did not lose them the game. They had a whole nother quarter or overtime to right their wrongs. Here we go. The number 1 blame for the Cavaliers losing this game, I hate to say it, LeBron James. You scored 49 points from quarters 1 through 4, and with 20-something seconds to go in the game, you get the ball. With 8 seconds to go in the game, you get the ball one-on-one against Steph Curry, who you've been eating the whole entire game. He's been eating Steph Curry like crazy. What does he do? He passes the ball. Whenever LeBron James is down by 1 or down by 2, he will never shoot the ball. But remember, when he's tied, or if he's up by 1, he always shoots the ball. Because, hey, no harm, no foul. Worst case scenario, if I shoot and we don't get it, we're going to overtime, or we're tied, or we're up 1. But he doesn't want to be the reason that they lose the ball. 1, he's scared to the free throw line, and he's scared to just miss a game-winning shot. It happens, man. You have to have the ball. LeBron James, I always say that between him and Michael Jordan, the willingness to be great, the greatness, both of them, the will to win is both there from LeBron and Michael Jordan. What separates them is the will to be the greatest of all time. Jordan had that will. Jordan said, I'm going to have the ball in my hands. Whether we win or lose, I'm going to take it over. LeBron James is saying, nah, it's not my style. You know, I want blame on somebody else. So now people are blaming J.R. Smith. They're blaming George Hill. And no one's blaming LeBron James. LeBron, if you're the GOAT, like people say, you have to take that shot. I don't care. You have to take that shot. He did not take that shot. And that is the reason why they're down 1-0 and will lose this series probably in 5, maybe 6 games still. So, that being said, that is my little rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk to see me, and Uneducated Network to see everybody else. That being said, sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay educated. Comment down below. Who's to blame most for the Cavaliers losing this game? Peace, y'all.